I want to take y'all over to Chicago really quickly, and then I want to take y'all over into Texas because I want to show y'all what's happening on a federal level. So again, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it, y'all.
Taking a live look outside over the city this afternoon, we are getting a small break after hours of cold rain fell on the city. We should be seeing more snow within the next few hours. Then comes the bitter cold.
I hear you, Trap.
Albert will time it out for us in just a few minutes.
That cold has the city of Chicago suspending a 60-day deadline for migrants staying in shelters.
CBS 2's Suzanne Leminio joins us live from the migrant landing zone in the South Loop with a look at how the city plans to keep asylum seekers safe in this bitter cold. Suzanne?
I'm going to show you right now. Take a look behind me. Now, what I have here are 8 CTA and 2 school buses. They're behind me right now. All 10 buses are in place to keep the new arrivals warm. The buses are parked around the landing zone for migrants to enter after their arrival. Once migrants are in a shelter, they have a deadline for when they must leave. Now, because of the cold weather, they will now have a grace period.
New arrivals who have received a 60-day notice will not be required to leave shelter for the next week. Individuals who were set to exit between January 16th and 21st will be able to remain in shelter until at least January 22nd.
Where are they supposed to go when they leave shelter is what I'm asking. Yeah, the meetups are crazy. If y'all never been to a meetup, y'all need to come to a meetup. Where are these migrants where are they supposed to go once they leave shelter? Because y'all don't have enough space. They building out tent cities. They renovated the CVS over there in Chicago. Shout out to Love C. Where are these people supposed to go once they leave? And I can't wait till I get to the Keith Lee segment of the show because Keith Lee gave a little bit of insight that I think people missed when he went and toured over on the Bay Area. But I'm going to get there. We're going to get there today. This is the most chaotic. I'm trying to be careful with my words because there's some words that I want to use that I can't use, that I choose not to use on a Millionaire Morning Show. This is the most chaotic, idiotic, base-headed. This is what we used to call the no plan plan. The no plan plan is the way that we used to describe people that live their lives a certain way, but then you had to coach them through it, right? So somebody would call me and they would get a coaching call. And they weren't intentional, and they'll say, "Yeah, man, I'm just out here living a dream or whatever." And I say, "Oh, okay, so why are you here? What are you trying to do? Why are you getting this coaching call? I just want to do better in life." "Oh, okay, cool, that's great. I'm glad that you came here. You're at the right place. So describe your situation," and then they'll start to break down their situation, and basically, they smoke weed all day, they hang out in their mother's basement, they have no education, dropped out of school. Dropped out of high school, and they never went and got their GED, don't have no job, but somehow they scraped up a little bit of money in order to be able to talk to me to get a coaching call. And I'm like, fam, you're not only going backwards, but you're on a no plan. Basically meaning that they figuring it out as they go. All aspects of our life, we supposed to have some sort of guide. Even if we just on a treadmill, even if we running in a rat's race, we doing this rat race that we got going on. We're supposed to be on some sort of path, or at least we imagine that we on one in our lives. Everybody, listen, even if you a basehead, a lot of baseheads still play the lottery because at least they have some pathway in their mind of what success look like. Maybe I got a 1 in a billion chance of hitting the lottery, and then my life is going to change from there. Right? Chicago, New York, Denver, the United States of America, they are on a no plan, or at least this plan, whatever this plan is, you and I are not privy to it. Government is supposed to be transparent. They're supposed to be giving us insight. They're supposed to be a representation of the people. But this is the most secretive organization that I've ever heard in my entire life. We have the Freedom of Information Act. They're supposed to be elected by us to represent us. But everybody is just disillusioned. They got more secrets than we have in our own home, in the privacy of our own home. We're more forthcoming with our lives, especially now that you got social media. than they are as far as what the plan. Because you can't tell me that they just out here just winging it. There's no way you're going to convince me that they out here just winging it. You telling me all of these cities and states with billions and then if on a federal level, trillions of dollars to manage and budgets, and they allocate so much money over to the military, and we over here planning against China and Taiwan, and we got all of this stuff going on, and you telling me we just forgot about the border. Nobody can figure out what the hell is happening with the border. I just played a video for y'all on Quick Hits the other day where Biden in 07 and 08, when they was campaigning in order for him and Obama to become president of the United States of America and vice president of the United States of America, basically echoed the same sentiments as Trump. Biden himself said, listen, no country can be civilized. No country can truly be protected. No country can actually call themselves a first world country without, at the very least, on a very basic minimum scale, protecting your borders, controlling what comes in and what comes out of your country, being aware of what it is. And so if he can say that, yet we have the smartest people in the world that's surrounding, even if Biden is completely incapacitated and he's a Manchurian candidate. Let's assume that Biden is the Manchurian candidate because he don't know his right from his left. Every other month he trip up the stairs in order to get on the Air Force One. And Kamala Harris is the vice president, and she's been deemed the border czar, which is one of the reasons why you see her at the bottom of the screen. Let's assume that Biden is the Manchurian candidate and Kamala Harris slept her way to the top, and that's one of the reasons why she joined the AKA sorority. If that be the case, if that be true, okay, you cannot tell me that you don't have the smartest people all around you in some of the most secretive agencies ever existing that do not have a well-written, well-thought-out plan as to why. Because we still have different layers of government. You still have the president, you still got Congress, you got the state house, you got every single legislative branch, then you got to go all the way down to the state level, and then you go down to the local level. And you telling me nobody, everybody just forgot that the border was open. Everybody just winging it and they just trying to figure it out. And this is not intentional. Everybody is asleep at the wheel, except for the people like us on YouTube trying to break this down and then trying to understand it and figure it. So I vote, my tax dollars funded, but then I'm in the dark as to what it is that I'm paying for. That's like paying for a prostitute and don't know whether you're getting a man or a woman coming in the room. No. That's not what we doing here. That's why I keep telling y'all to stay from being passport bros over in the DR. It ain't that I don't think that y'all should have options. It's that I don't know if y'all really know if y'all getting a lady boy or not. I don't know. You never know. You rolling the dice. That's why I tell y'all to have D-discipline. Because you don't know if she giving you that 2-for-1 package like they're handing out over in Houston. They're giving you chlamydia and herpes at the same time. You don't know because you can't just look at her and she got it on her head. You can't see her my chart. That's exactly what we doing when it comes to this migrant crisis. We have no clue I didn't know I was going to be cooking up like a Saturday like this. Yo, y'all better tell the Lord to make it cold outside more often because I feel like I'm in the studio right now. You telling me we're paying for something that we have no clue what we getting and everything is a mystery box. Okay.
We will continue to reevaluate this situation and prioritize safety.
Meantime, Governor J.B. Pritzker sent a letter to the governor of Texas urging him to stop sending migrants to Chicago during the winter storm with sub-zero temperatures, saying in part, Chicago's temperatures this weekend are forecast to drop below zero. Your callousness sending buses and planes full of migrants in this weather is now life-threatening to every one of the arrivals. Hundreds of children's and families' health and survival are at risk due to your actions. Now,
shout out to Governor Greg Abbott. I think he the GOAT. If anybody in our federal government deserves an award, I would have to say it is Greg Abbott over there in Texas. I think that whether you vote blue or whether you vote red, whether you vote Republican or you can vote Democrat, I don't think that any of us are in disagreement that we all need to control our borders. Is that safe to say? Regardless of whether you agree with my politics or not, regardless of whether or not I think I agree with your politics or not, we can agree to disagree on that. But I think that there are some things that we can come to, in the middle on. And I don't think anybody, whether you vote red or you vote in blue, believes that we don't deserve to have control at our borders on a federal level, not just on a state level, but on a federal level.
Texas is blocking federal agents from processing migrants in a
What up? What up, Carrie? What up, my baby? What's happening? Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
public area of Eagle Pass, just a mile away from the U.S.-Mexico border.
We doing a makeup show today, Carrie.
The move is the latest escalation between the state and federal government over the nation's immigration policy. Texas's Republican Governor Greg Abbott deployed National Guard troops to the park. They are now preventing U.S. Border Patrol agents from entering and patrolling the area. The federal government previously used the space to hold migrants in a staging area before further processing. CBS News immigration and political reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez joins us now. Camilo, how is the state of Texas able to do this?
This is so funny that you say this, Trap and Slay. This is why we greater than everybody else. Y'all, I don't think that y'all realize how much further ahead we are, even in situational awareness of what's going on at our, on a national level, on an international level, monetarily. I'll get into that in a minute. But she said, I asked my Facebook, did they know about the migrant crisis? And nobody answered because everybody was too worried about Cat Williams. I'm going to get into that in a minute. You absolutely right.
Hi, Elaine. This really is an extraordinary standoff between Texas and the Biden administration. Texas National Guard members, as we speak, have been deployed by Governor Greg Abbott to take control of this public park in Eagle Pass, Texas, where Border Patrol had been holding migrants in a staging area, as you underscored. And right now, Texas National Guard soldiers and vehicles are actively denying Border Patrol agents as well as federal National Guard members access to roughly 2.5 miles of the U.S.-Mexico border, according.
Let me give a round of applause for Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott is the only person that got a set of balls on a legislative level in this country outside of Trump that actually gonna do something and said, you know what, I'm not waiting on nobody to give me nothing. We gonna go ahead and kick the feds out. Listen, on a local level, y'all know where y'all can suck it. You know where you can put it. You know what you can kiss. They went into control and they said, listen, we not letting y'all let nobody else over in here because y'all just out here being wild. Y'all out here being wild. Shout out to Greg Abbott. I believe that he is not just the best governor in the country, but quite possibly the best politician in the entire United States of America. Only person, man, listen, bro. Only person that's in office right now that got a set of balls. Went over there and told the feds, nah, fam, we not doing that today.
To federal officials who spoke with CBS News, this means that Border Patrol agents cannot access this area, Elaine, to process migrants, including those who may be in distress, who are experiencing a medical emergency, for example.
We don't
care.
care.
Cannot patrol that area or conduct surveillance as well. These are, after all, Elaine, federal responsibilities. And in terms of the legality of these actions, that is still very much an open question. Governor Abbott.
He said, we're going to ask for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. We're not asking for permission no more. We're going to go ahead and deal with the consequences after it. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and secure our own borders. Shout out to Governor Greg Abbott.
Has previously said that he has the authority to take sweeping actions to deter illegal crossings. But this is certainly, Elaine, his most drastic move yet to challenge the Biden administration's authority on immigration.
Well, how is the White House responding to this, Camilo?
Well, the White House actually issued a statement just recently, Elaine. I want to read that to our viewers and our audiences. The White House is accusing Governor Abbott of trying to interfere with immigration and border enforcement, saying that the governor is continuing his extreme political stunts that not only seek to demonize and dehumanize people, but that also make it harder and more dangerous for Border Patrol to do their job. So
think about this for a minute. We have a president, a vice president, and federal authority that's trying to prevent Greg Abbott from securing the borders of Texas. They have zero, zilch, nada. I mean, they are vetting and making sure that people are not asking questions, even when they make their little tour stops. Nobody can ask a question whatsoever, but then they have everything to say when he then say, listen, we not letting nobody else in this country without some kind of understanding of what the heck you got going on. and they're trying to block him from not to allow people in this country undocumented. If y'all trust this administration, if y'all trust these people, if you guys think that they're working in your best interest, I feel so much pity for you. I feel so much pity for you.
This is clearly the latest escalation in this feud between President Biden and Governor Abbott. The Biden administration, the Justice Department specifically, Elaine, has also alerted the Supreme Court of these actions by Texas and Eagle Pass. So we should expect a prolonged legal battle on this matter as well.
That was going to be my question.
What up, Scony?
I mean, what does this signify about this fight over who is responsible for the nation's immigration policy?
Well, Elaine, I think this really illustrates that governors like Greg Abbott are not shy about testing the limits of their authority on immigration and border issues. They have significant disagreements with how the Biden administration has handled the record levels of migration along the U.S.-Mexico border over the past 3 years. Governor Abbott, in just 3 years, has bused tens of thousands of migrants to Democratic-led cities, including over there in New York City. Elaine, he has charged migrants on trespassing charges and fortified the riverbanks of the Rio Grande with razor wire and floating barriers. And most recently, he signed a law, Governor Abbott did, Elaine, that would allow the state to prosecute, jail, and arrest migrants on state criminal charges of crossing into Texas illegally. Those actions are already illegal at the federal level, and that.
Listen, for all of y'all, and I'm about to read the super chat shortly, I appreciate y'all. For all of y'all that truly don't, and y'all not going to appreciate Greg Abbott until y'all get y'all a Jennifer Granholm. Those that know. Those of y'all that's from Michigan, you know. And Jennifer Granholm just so happens to be a part, in my opinion, one of the worst governors in the history of Michigan. Presided over Michigan during the bankruptcy of Detroit, Flint crisis, so on and so forth, right? And Jennifer Granholm just so happened to be a part of the Biden administration's cabinet. Y'all not going to appreciate Governor Greg Abbott over there in Texas until he's no longer the governor and y'all get yourself a Granholm. Until y'all get yourself a Granholm. I'm telling you, y'all better appreciate him now. We appreciate him because we know what we went through, but y'all better appreciate him now. None dare call it conspiracy. You know, you see it. Y'all better appreciate him now because I'm telling you, you're not until you get yourself a Granholm.